Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, and I'm a little, I don't know. I mean, I slept in, but I still feel like I could sleep in another hour or two. But I know if I sleep in too much, come Monday, it's going to be a real bear of a day. I mean, I will be cranky as all get out. I'm sorry I haven't done anything all week long. I have been either busy with work or busy with Jerry, house, mom, cooking, cleaning, doing whatever I can to keep and maintain my house at a decent look. I know there's a lot of stuff that I got to put away that Jerry got well, we didn't buy it, but a friend of ours sent it to us from Costco. Certain things that we need that we have a hard time finding in this area. Large and, just bulk rate type stuff. That, in fact, this friend of ours sent us, a buttload of water. It's this, I forgot the name of it, and I don't have a bottle with me, but it's supposed to be an all-natural flavored water with electrolytes and other things, other minerals and whatnot Jerry needs to maintain her health, nutrition, however you want to put it. So I'm happy that we got it, but at the same time I'm like, where am I putting this stuff? So I have to spend some time trying to rearrange my pantry and my the pantry and the closet where we keep like paper goods. I'm still waking up, so I'm sorry that I'm pausing, which I think that's because of mental fatigue more than sleep. This whole cancer venture, or however you want to put it, not only does it get to Jerry and wear her out, but it does a number on me too. I mean, I'm not dealing with the physical pain or the medical issues or aspect of it. I'm just dealing with the exhaustion and tiredness and fatigue due to trying to get everything done, trying to take care of everybody, which I'm not complaining because I would do it anyhow. I mean, taking care of mom is one thing because of the fact that she's still functional enough to, help out, so to speak. What she does help with like dishes, and she's always saying if you need anything, to both me and Jerry, if we need anything, let her know. She will try to help us, especially Jerry when I'm not here at the house. Yesterday, Jerry had been awake when I went to work, and she took her medicine, and as she put it, she took her medicine and she fell asleep, and mom had checked on her like 3 different times throughout the morning. I think what we have to do is we need to sit down and talk about like scheduling. I understand that mom's checking up on her just to see if she's okay and needs anything. That's just mom trying to be, that's the way she is sometimes. As for Jerry, she's been awake earlier than I was, mostly because 6 o'clock in the morning, or no, 5 o'clock in the morning, she was supposed to take her, dang it, I forgot what it's called now, but her, chemo pill. And then at 7, she's supposed to, 6 or 7, she's supposed to take her regular medicine. Now, her regular medicine, which is like her vitamins and minerals and calcium and all that stuff that is as important. Her gabapentin, that kind of stuff, is as important as that chemo pill, but she does not have to take that like on the dot. The reason why she wants to get up at 5 o'clock with me to take her cabaminics, cab something or other. She wants to keep that a regular routine at 5 o'clock in the morning. I can understand that. I like to keep my routines as well, except for on the weekends. Weekends, I'm just like, I don't have a routine. I get up when I feel like getting up. Try not to get up any later than 8 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, it's going to be, messed up morning on Monday. But we try to keep a regular schedule for our meds. I'm the only person out of the two of us that don't have like midday medication like she does. She has a midday gabapentin with calcium chews. They want her on calcium for her bones, because, well, right now the area that they're worried about is all the cancer spots on her bone, her skeletal structure. But she tries to keep a regular schedule. Mom is, I kind of feel sorry for Mom, and that's why I've told Mom lately, do what you feel like doing, because she has a lumbar issue that she needs to go to the surgeon for. She was supposed to go on the 3rd to get her surgery done, but the weather was, it was either the 3rd or the 4th. It was Thursday. I don't know what date that was. Thursday she was supposed to go and get surgery done on her back, and then she was supposed to stay basically on her, she couldn't sit up. She had to lay flat on her stomach. I originally was going to take the day off. Then I said, because of the weather, no, I'm not taking the day off. But then the weather was so bad that I ended up taking the day off anyhow, because I couldn't get a vehicle out of my driveway. That affected her, for safety issues and concerns and whatnot by my family. I ended up calling out anyhow. I should have just not opened my mouth saying that I would make it, but welcome to the Midwest in the wintertime. And speaking about the weather, yesterday was nice and sunny. Today was nice and sunny. While I was at work yesterday, snowplow came through, finally, to plow my little cul-de-sac, my little end of the road type area. Well, in doing so, the snow kind of mounded up as he was pushing it. The side area from his plow was causing a hill of snow, which made it impossible for me to pull into my driveway with my mom's car, which is higher off the ground than my van. So, either today or tomorrow, depending on Mother Nature, since it's nice and sunny today and it's supposed to be nice and sunny tomorrow, I've got to try to get my mom's car back into the driveway. We thought about hiring somebody to shovel our driveway, because I could do it, but I'd have to do it today so I can spend tomorrow resting, because my back will be shot. So I'm kind of like, keep on telling everybody I need a snowblower so I can take care of this snow when it gets this bad. Oh, it never gets that bad, blah, 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 blah. Okay, sure. I know that northern Texas, from what I understand, got a blast of ice, but not as bad as they did the year of the blackout, which I think was last year. Maybe Ted Cruz learned his lesson and started putting heaters on the wind turbines so they don't have a problem like they did last year. Politicians don't learn jack. Yes, I'm in one of those moods that I'm not a fan of politicians. Mom and I had kind of a heated debate. She's a Trumpster. She listens to Fox News. I'm an independent. I'm not even into politics. I mean, all I know is if the president who's in charge is doing a good job, doesn't seem to be causing a lot of wakes or issues, I don't care. But that's just me. I'm like my dad. Don't trust a politician as far as I can toss them. As my dad once said, you can take all the politicians in this country, stick them on a deserted island, and see who comes out on top. But I'm even more vicious than that. I'd be like, yeah, put them all on a desert island, give them one boat with a hole in it, see if those politicians can figure out how to get off the island that is surrounded by piranha and bloodthirsty sharks. That's just me. I'm not a big fan of American politics. But, like I said, that's just me. Everybody can have their own opinion about politicians or politics or their state governor or whatever. For as I'm concerned, as long as they leave me alone, let me live my life the way I want to, I could care less. Sometimes I wish politicians weren't so annoying. But, yeah. Never been a big fan of politics. I'll put my 2 cents in, and that's about it. But anyhow, today's events are still unknown except for one. I have a grocery pickup at 10 a.m. for Walmart. Some necessities. What was the other thing? That's about it, because I think what we're going to end up doing today is finishing hanging pictures and decorating in our bedroom to basically make Jerry happy, so she's not staring at, as she puts it, blank walls. I'm like, they're not blank. There's a picture there and there's a picture there. How is it blank? That's just me. She actually redecorated the one wall above the TV with wedding memorabilia, basically art from our wedding and signage and whatnot. I'm wondering or whatnot if she's going to try to take a picture of that and put it on one of her posts, one of her vlogs. It seems like every time I've stopped trying to plan on how to deal with this room, because every time I have an idea of what I want to do and I start trying to implement it or start trying to work on it, I either get, I thought we were going to work in here, or I thought you were going to do this, or I thought... Yeah, I understand what she's trying to say, but at the same time, I want to look at her and go, my father had a very good saying, and that saying was simple: thought shit itself. So I'm done trying to plan. I'm just like, okay, if she's not feeling good or she has no plans for the day, I'm going to start working on this room, because it seems like every time I go to work on this room, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps backward. It's like I'm not making headway. I'm lucky enough that I got my desk pretty much cleaned off and workable. It's the rest of the room that I'm like, but I'm not blaming Jerry for it, because I mean, sometimes it's as simple, we need to sit down and talk about stuff, because she doesn't come into this room, so she doesn't know how far I've made it or how done I am. And then she starts going, oh, well, I want this and I want that. And I'm like, yeah, I want $1 million bank account. You know, or the same thing she used to say to me when I said I want. How's it feel to want? You know, I'm not trying to put her down or anything like that, but it's just, there are times where I just want to use her own words against her, because she's good at that. She's good at doing that to me in the past. But right now, I'm so focused and concerned on her health and well-being because of the cancer and whatnot, that I'm just like, okay, sure, if it's going to make you happy and it's going to make you feel better, sure. But I'm just afraid that one of the biggest things I'm afraid of, and I'm trying to look out for it, is her using the cancer card too much on me. Because it's like, okay, I understand you have cancer, but there are other people in this house that need things or want things done a certain way, or just done. You know, it's not like I'm trying to deny her anything, but at the same time, I'm trying to get my stuff done. Because, like a lot of you have already said, and I'm trying to deal with it, is I need to work on myself. I need to make sure my health is good. Otherwise, if I break down because of health issues, it's one thing to have the back issues, but let's say I injure myself because I'm so stressed out, and I go to work and I end up injuring myself, and I'm out of work for who knows how long, and the doctors tell me to go home and just relax and heal let yourself heal. But here I am going, how am I going to do that when I've got to do the cooking, I got to do the cleaning, I've got to help my wife, I told Jerry, Jerry understands certain situations, and I told Jerry one day, I need the day off, because I'm just wiped. I'm like, I need some time off so I can relax and recuperate and blah, 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 blah. And she'll be like, but I need this, I need that, I want this, I want that. And I'm like, really? Okay. So basically, I have to deny what my body needs or wants because you want certain things done. I mean, Thursday, I called out. 2 reasons why. One, my back was like hurting. I mean, like, it felt like somebody used it for a trampoline all night long. That, in fact, snow built up behind my cars. I had to wait until it stopped snowing to attempt to pull a car out of the driveway. And I told Jerry the reasons why I called out is my back was really hurt. I don't know how many Advil and muscle relaxers I ended up popping Thursday. Well, the muscle relaxer says what does it say? 3 pills a day. Basically, a breakfast, a noon, and a night pill for a muscle relaxer. And then I probably ended up taking throughout the whole day maybe about 8 Advil throughout the day. I probably would not have had to take any of that because the muscle relaxer is as needed. But no, I ended up helping take down a bunch of stuff off the walls, clean up the area, hang new stuff up there. And granted, before I did all that, I did my, the recommended PT that the doctor told me about, and I felt a little bit better. But even with the PT and the Advil and the muscle relaxer, I really didn't feel like doing any of it, but I did it anyhow. And if we do anything today besides me going out to get groceries, I'll do what I can, basically. I've told Jerry that many times. I'll do what I can. But I've also told Jerry, if I'm not feeling up to it, I mean, I will still do it, but I will not push myself to do it, and I will be grumpy, and I will procrastinate, and I will basically grumble and mumble, and all the things that I do when I'm not exactly in a happy place. But like I said, I'm trying my best to keep her happy, but at the same time, I'm trying not to work myself into an early grave or anything like that. But my biggest thing is I'm just getting tired. But so far the only plans that I know about is picking up groceries. We were talking yesterday, and she wants me to help her over the weekend get that my wall, basically the wall on my side of the bed, decorated. And I was like, I really don't want anything on that wall. 2 reasons why. Because if I wake up in the middle of the night because of Mother Nature and an aging bladder, I don't want to, because I use that wall. Sometimes I'll lean against it, sometimes I just put my hand against it while I'm walking. I don't want something in a spot where if I'm walking along and my hand is up against the wall, just, keeping myself from falling over or balanced, however you want to put it. I don't want to knock something off the wall in the middle of the night, whether it's my hand or my shoulder. So it's kind of like, okay, I have to basically sit there and go, all right, you can put anything on the wall that you want, but it can't go below this spot along the whole wall, because either A, my hand is going to be hitting it and I don't want to knock it off in the middle of the night, or B, I'm going to be leaning against the wall, because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom and I have not slept off the side effects of some of my medication, which is basically, one of them says drowsiness, the other one says, one of them says drowsy or dizziness, and not to operate a vehicle after you take the medication. That's why I only take it at night, because I'm not going to be operating my own body, let alone a vehicle. So, but there's been a couple times where I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, felt like a drunken sailor or something like that. And I literally have to lean against that wall, because I don't even have the strength to just put my hand up against that wall and walk. And thankfully, I haven't had that problem I had that problem for the first week of taking the medication. But I guess my body has gotten so used to it that it doesn't have that side effect anymore. So it's one of those, like, okay, I can understand putting up pictures and whatnot because you want them up there, but don't turn that wall into the same thing she did in the living room. Her gallery wall in the living room is just kind of like, I can understand the pictures and whatnot, but, thin it out a little bit. Because she's got, literally frame to frame, pictures with maybe a sliver of wall in between the two. And I'm like, and the thing was, when she had me help her hang that stuff up, I was getting a little like, too much. Oh, but I want my fan, I want everything, I want all these pictures up there. Okay. It's just, that in fact are one of the things, that, because she started, when we came up with the idea a couple years back of getting an RV, she was starting to buy all these like pictures and whatnot to hang up inside the RV, and I'm like, babe, RVs don't have that much wall space for hanging a whole bunch of stuff. That in fact, I don't think you want things hanging on walls, because a turn, a short stop, a jerking motion of the RV could cause the frame to come falling off the wall and crashing. That in fact, are most RVs, they're not designed for people to be putting holes in the walls for hanging objects. Now, if it was a mobile home, or if we were living in a Class A bus size RV, I can, it's like, okay, if you can get these pictures to hang on the walls without a thumbtack, nail, or hook, maybe. But I'm not going to be putting holes in walls. No, it's going to be either ticky-tack or magnets, because some of those RVs are designed for to put magnets for hanging stuff, but a vehicle that is designed for luxury or camping or things of that nature, unless you're planning on living in it, not all of them are designed to have things hanging. In fact, I was watching something on YouTube one day. It's about this family of 5 who basically, they live out of the RV 24/7, and they're always going someplace new, and the kids are homeschooled. And they're, the oldest kid, I think, is maybe 7. The youngest one, I think, is like 3 or something like that. They were talking about how they would either use tape, ticky-tack, or magnets to hang stuff. Well, that's great, because the fact that, you want to just, you've got kids, you want to let them display their artwork somehow in their room or throughout the RV. And this wasn't even an RV. They took an old, wasn't an old school bus. It was like a fifth wheel. It was an old trailer, a big, giant, what did they say it was? They took an old cattle hauler, and they basically tore it down to its base platform and built up this fifth wheel, basically. I thought that was cool, because the kids had bunks to sleep in. The parents had a room, had like their own separate room. I can only imagine how people like that with kids do this kind of thing, because it's like, wow. But I'm finding out more and more people want to be more mobile instead of locked in one location. So there's this whole movement on taking old school buses and turning them into RVs, or taking the this one guy that I was following, him and his girlfriend, wife, whatever, took one of the half-size school buses and turned it into an RV with all the essentials. And they had was it 2 dogs, or was it a dog and a cat? I can't remember, but they had pets. Hey, everybody a lot of people want to do this thing. I don't blame them. That in effect gives you the option of, okay, it's getting towards fall. Where do we want to go see the fall leaves? Do we want to go up north? Do we want to go out east? It's wintertime. Do we want to, you know, if it wasn't insulated, I would have been like, it's getting towards wintertime. I think I'm going to go down towards Texas or Arizona, or, you know, places that don't get a lot of snow or very cold. Oh, the birdies are out. Yay. But, you know, I have my pipe dreams. Jerry has her pipe dreams. When it comes to RVing, I think we're almost on the same page. The only thing about RVing right now is the affordability of the RV and how long can we go, how long can we get away before she has to come back to the area for her treatments, things like that. There's a lot of different options that we're looking at. Okay, we're at 31 minutes into a video, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I'm going to apologize because this is probably going to be a long video. So I'm pre-apologizing. Well, let's get down to the chase. Friday. Well, let's talk a little bit about my job. It's been an adventure. Let me just tell you that much. Wednesday morning, I went into work, and it was sleeting, and there was already a good sheen of ice and snow mixture on the ground. And I tried to go out to my venue, and I had trouble getting in because the hole where the key is was kind of frozen over, so I had to chip away at ice. Opening the door was fun because there was enough accumulation in front of the door that it was stuck, and I had to force it open. And because I know what my job is, and I know how fast I can do my job, and I can get just about everything done within an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how much I have to deal with. On a Monday, it might take me the whole morning to get it all done because I have to make everything fresh. You know, and I do freshen it up like every 2 days. We have to make fresh stuff. So Wednesday, basically all I had to do was make a couple salads and get my my gyro cone started up. So here I am, I'm waiting for chicken to cook, basically. And here comes in the supervisor, and I was sitting down actually eating breakfast as a quick break while my chicken was cooking. And he comes in and goes, don't worry about, taking anything outside. We're going to do it inside. I just kind of looked at him like, the only thing I have to do to go outside is chicken. He goes, oh, maybe you shouldn't be so efficient all the time. And I just kind of looked at him like, I don't like wasting my time. If I know what I'm going to do, I'm done. So I was like, okay, well, I can easily run out there and bring everything in, no big deal. He goes, yeah, because we're going to do it indoors because it's just too nasty outside for you you're not going to have very many people. I'm like, yeah, I had to force the door open. So Wednesday, I brought everything in and got it all set up, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, how am I going to do this gyro cone? Because it needs to be it needs to, spin around to finish cooking, or to keep cooked, basically. And by the time, I don't know if you guys just saw that, there was a birdie trying to do something by the window. Squirrel. So basically, one of my coworkers said, just cut it in half. Cut it in half, sit it underneath the heat lamps. And I'm like, well, it's already 90% cooked. I didn't even use half of a cone. It was just like, oh my goodness, it was dead Wednesday, basically. 16 people, I think. No, it wasn't even 16 people. It was like closer to 12. Um, and not all of them got gyro or anything like that. They got whatever, salad or something like that. I'm just kind of like, oh boy. So Thursday was the day I called out, and when I went in Friday, they told me that yesterday or Thursday, um, that venue I was working at was closed. They closed it down. I'm like, okay. So there was a Friday morning. There was a debate on what was happening. Am I doing my foods? Am I doing something else? What am I doing? So Friday morning, I was getting ready to set up, and it was about 6:30 when my supervisor, or the kitchen supervisor, came through and said, "Don't even set up. We're not even opening up that venue. We're just gonna leave it closed." And I was like, "Okay, so what am I doing for the day?" I ended up doing one of the many jobs that I really never wanted to do again because of the heat and the grease splatter and whatnot, is burgers. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the story that is part of my past. The reason why I don't like doing burgers or being in an area that's extremely warm, or hot, I should say, is I get bouts of heat deprivation, or not deprivation, heat stroke, I guess. I think that's what they called it when I had it the 2 times in Arizona. What happens is, because it's been medically proven, I have what they consider underdeveloped sweat glands. So I don't sweat like most people unless something is really bad or my body is starting to overheat, which takes a lot, because living in Arizona, I'm kind of used to heat, even though I don't like it. But what happened one year when we got back from Germany, and I was fifth. I got pushed back coming back to the States because of the way things were over in Europe. In Europe, basically, I found out when we got to Europe, the military base has basically school, like elementary, junior high, high school, for on base for the American kids. And when we got there, because the factor they were 2 years ahead of American schooling, I got pushed back. You would think when I got back to the States I would get pushed forward. No, I got pushed back again. So I was like the oldest elementary student in 5th grade or something like that. I should have been going into junior high when we got back to the States, but instead I was still in grade school. Anyhow, Harris Elementary School, I remember the name. There was a demo, they were doing a demo in the auditorium with birds of prey, native birds of prey of Arizona. And we were all packed in there, and I guess the air conditioning was either A, the air conditioning wasn't working, or B, there's too many people in the auditorium for the air conditioning to work properly. So as I am enjoying the flights of a red-tailed hawk, I started feeling nauseous. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to go to the bathroom or something like that. Well, I got up to excuse myself, and I ended up going outside, and one of the teachers followed me, and as soon as I got outside, it was like whatever was in my stomach just came out. Like bleh, all over the place. And they took me to the nurse, and the nurse was like, "He's overheated. We got to find a way to cool him down. Bring his body temperature down to a safe level." So when my parents came to pick me up, the nurse basically told my parents, I think it was just mom at the time, because dad was at work. Yeah, dad was still on base. He was still working his military career for the last 2 years of his career. But the nurse told my mom that I should be checked out for heat issues. And yep, that's when the doctors on base told us that one, I have underdeveloped sweat glands, and two, I can overheat and become very sick. That was the first time. Second time was a car trip. And I think we were coming out to Missouri at the time. I can't remember what for. But I got sick during a car trip, and it wasn't car sickness. It was because it was me, mom, and dad crammed in a pickup truck heading north. We were heading from Phoenix to Flagstaff at the time, and luckily we were able to pull over on a side road and get mom got out of the car real quick before I let it loose. Of course, we didn't know if we were going to stop in time, so like mom handed me a paper bag, which I'm pretty sure the paper bag would have been useless, but that was the second time. So yesterday, basically, I'm trying to do burgers and whatnot, and being surrounded by heat well and two flat top griddles and four basket fryer. Every time I got a chance to step away from that area to go around the corner where it was cooler, I did, just because I didn't want to, lose my breakfast. But I haven't had any of those problems in a long time, thank God. But yeah, I knew something was I knew something was starting to go wrong, because I can literally feel the sweat building up on the headband of my hat and my my cheeks that were exposed. I gotta clean this up. But yeah, I was like, this is not gonna be good. So I'm hoping Monday I get to go back out to my regular venue. It's a little cooler, even with all the heat well, the steam well, the gyro cooker, and the hot box for storing extra foods in my pita breads. But we'll see what happens on Monday. I mean, Monday's 2 days away. I wish the weekends were longer. I really wish they were longer. Not just because of the fact that there's a lot to do around the house, but there are times where I don't look forward to going back to work because I worry about what's going on here at the house. Ooh, that's the right time. I gotta jump off this. Yeah, I think it is. Oh boy. But anyhow, I'm thankful for what's going on lately. I mean, not cancer or whatnot, but just we're getting our ducks in a row. We're getting our bills paid. Things of that nature. But life continues to go on. There's not much we can really do, except for just try our best to deal. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. So if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, you can put it in the comment box area. If you're new to my channel and like hearing some of my adventures, even though some of them aren't so fun, you can hit the subscribe button. Once you do that, a little bell will pop up. You click on that bell, and YouTube will inform you when my next video is on. Until next time. Bye. Enjoy.